Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first video in the Problem Solvers video series that Greenhouse Grower is putting out for the month of May. In this series, we'll be putting out one video a week where we talk to progressive owners and CEOs and presidents of greenhouse operations about some of their most pressing business challenges. This week, I'm here with Henry Huntington. Henry is the president of Leaf Farms and Pleasant View Gardens. So he has a lot of hats to wear and is a busy man. We are here today to kind of talk about one of the most pressing business challenges that Henry has ever had in his business and kind of how he approached that.
Thanks, Janine. Nice to be here.
Good to have you. So we've been talking about what a great year the growers are having and stuff like that. And as we know, business is up and down. So what is one of the most challenging things that you have ever, encountered in your career? And just tell me a little bit about how you approached it.
Sure. So I think, that's not hard to find a challenge because I think every day is a challenge in our industry, whether it's on the ornamental side or the veg side of things. But, the one I want to point to because is at Leaf Farms and because that's such a new, whether it's a new industry on the controlled environment side and there's just every day we're just learning more and more, and whether it's a market question or whether it's a production question or whatever. But I think probably one of the biggest challenges we had at Leaf Farms in the beginning was just the technology was in such infancy when we purchased our system at Leaf Farms, where it's a completely automated system. And the technology is amazing, and we're really thrilled with what we can produce in our facility and with certainly a minimal amount of labor. But I think our biggest challenge was when we got our system up and running and realized that we started with a peat-based media. And most of the automated systems that we were introduced to were growing in rock wool, and we didn't want to grow in rock wool, so we wanted to grow in more of a natural peat-based media, and so we were the first ones to do that in an automated system like this. And what we didn't realize was the difference, was the challenges or the changes that it meant on the irrigation side primarily, and what we realized was the system that we installed, we were so under delivering the amount of irrigation water that we needed by like 10% of what the needs were. And it took us a while to kind of figure that out. And then the worst part was, or the most challenging part of that was that there was no expertise out there. I mean, nobody had done it before. And so, there's plenty of people that know irrigation and will sell you a drip system or, sell you a basic NFT system or whatever. But in terms of this kind of mass production, high intensity, high density production, there was nobody out there. And so we had to learn it on our own. And so, it was a lot of trial and error. And we didn't know what was enough or even what was too much. And so, we kind of came at it like, okay, let's get as much as we can. And then if it's too much, we can back off. But we didn't want to just like, oh, let's add this much. Let's increase our pumping capacity or delivery capacity by double, and then realize that we needed to double or triple or quadruple it beyond that. So, we really reached for a long way to really kind of almost overdo it and then back off. So it was a lot of trial and error. The entire system was completely undergone, from the drips, as simple as the drips, to the piping that delivered it, to the pumps, to the filtration, all of that. And so we slowly but surely just kind of kept adding and building and adding and building, and to the point now where we have overcome that challenge. But it was, I think the message here is that especially when there's no expertise, you really need to dig in and use a lot of resources. So we reached out to a lot of people that could help answer kind of more basic questions that we could then build upon from there. So that was so it's use your resources, find new resources, and don't give up. Shoot for the moon, because you'll eventually find that sweet spot.
So has that experience kind of changed anything that you've done now when you've encountered situations like that, or?
Well, yeah, I think again, one of the thoughts is that there aren't always the resources out there, so you need to be resourceful yourself, and really think through the problem, really problem solve. I think that's just using good problem solving skills, really asking all the questions. Don't just ask one question, ask them all, so you can get a good understanding of the problem and the possible solutions to solve it.
Yeah, good advice for anybody trying
Yeah, for
something
sure.
new, for sure. Well, Henry, thank you in sharing this experience. I'm sure it will be helpful to others that when they find themselves in kind of the same situation, and which is usually, any innovative progressive grower, that's what's going to happen sooner or later, for sure.
Sure. So happy to do it, Janine. Good luck to everybody, and thanks a lot.
Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to check back next week for the second problem solver video, and keep checking back on greenhousegrower.com periodically for more great digital content in the Grow Executive series.